Hello everyone and welcome to Gearhead Entertainment. Today is Sundays with Steve, and against all odds, here I am with the next level of the Fall of the Trident campaign on Ludicrous. We're going to be playing this level. I hope it works. So basically, if you missed the last episode, or the last string of episodes, we're in Troy, we busted down their gates, but their counterattack left us crippled, and so now we have to try and figure out some way to deal with them, despite not really having enough of an army. And this is where they decide that they want to do the Trojan Horse. And I'm going to tell you right now, Arkantos is completely made up. Atlantis, by all accounts, probably didn't exist. And this is still probably going to be a better retelling of the Odyssey than Christopher Nolan, just so you're aware. So let's go ahead and dive in. The first half, this level is split up into two halves. The first half is going to be the creation of the wooden horse, and the second half is going to be the actual sacking of Troy. And then once we finish with this level, because this one will go relatively quickly, I did include the next stretch, which is Ioklos. We'll dive into that next, but for right now, we just want to focus on building the Trojan Horse. So I'm going to have all of my villagers chop down wood. We need 1,000 wood before we can build the Trojan Horse. I'm going to take what gold I have, and I'm going to buy chthonic rights because I would need this Hydra to heal, and I'm going to spend most of my food, well, all of my food, producing villagers. I'll probably have like 1 or 2 on food production, and the rest will be wood. We're just going to rush the Trojan Horse. You should be fine. I mean, this is ludicrous, but you will be fine if all you're doing is focusing on getting wood for that Trojan Horse. So, I'm going to have 2 armies. I'm going to have my Promodros in one army and everybody else in the other. The idea is for our main army, our number 1 hotkey army, to soak up most of the damage, and for the Promodros to come in from behind and attack the cavalry. So their scouts are going to be predominantly cavalry, which means that our Promodros are going to do more damage. So we're just going to kind of hammer and anvil these guys, and you should be able to stop them from attacking without too much difficulty. I've slowed things down, but honestly, I didn't really feel like I needed to in most of this the first time I played this through, and I don't expect that to be any different today. So let's see here. So again, basically the gist is we're just going to harvest 1,000 wood, and once we get 1,000 wood, then we're going to have to build the Trojan Horse. Once we do that, it will move on to the next section of the level. I do recommend saving on this one. It is split into 2, but if you fail the second half, you will start the first half, and that's no fun. So I'm going to save quite frequently in the second half of this level. First half, it's not a big deal. This is one of those where really you just play the objective. It's not going to be that bad if you're focusing on harvesting wood. The big thing is we do want to make sure that all of these scouts die before they go back to Troy. Also, you do want to keep your villagers alive as much as possible. It's really expensive to replace them since you don't have that many, and we're focusing entirely on getting wood. Now, like I was saying, we want to kill all these scouts before they run away. If we don't, they will report back to Troy, and they will bring a lot of reinforcements, and we will not be able to deal with that. Dealing with scouting parties is fine. They're pretty frequent, but they're not that tough. Dealing with an actual full-fledged attack, that's something different altogether. Alright, so I'm going to, now that we've got 1,000 wood, I'm going to create another house just so that we can keep getting villagers, and I'm going to start building the Trojan Horse. Once this is constructed, we'll move on to the second half. It shouldn't take too terribly long. I think even without speeding it up, it takes maybe 7 minutes, 8 minutes for the first half of the level. I don't know, somewhere in there. 10 at most. So we're just going to harvest a little bit more wood so that... I was not paying attention. Let's get these villagers out of the way. Again, we want to keep many of them alive as possible. I'm going to hit the bell, keep them alive that way. Let's go ahead and bolt him. You can feel free to use all of these god powers. They're going to be replaced. So, go ahead and use them all. I'm going to use all my villagers except for 2 to create the Trojan Horse. These 2, I'm gathering just enough wood to build a granary, and then I'm going to start harvesting deer so that I can get even more villagers to build the Trojan Horse. You don't have to train any new units. You don't have to do anything fancy. This is just like a level. We attack the docks. Don't focus too much on the enemy. Focus entirely on the goal at hand, and you'll be just fine. Hope everyone else is doing well today. I almost didn't get this video out. This has been a busy week. There's been a lot going on. I've had job applications. I've been working nights, which means that when you get back, you're just sleeping for most of the day, and that kind of shoots your day. I just spent today over at my grandfather's workshop, which was a lot of fun, but I also spent most of the day there, which means that my productivity for today just dropped off a cliff. I'm not complaining, it was a good time, but it did mean this video kind of taking the backseat. I almost did the daily instead, just did another offbeat episode, but I saw the daily, it was not that entertaining for a video, and that's a low bar, so at this point you could probably let the scouts go if you wanted. I don't think that the scout would get back with a raiding party in time to stop you from building the Trojan Horse, but I'm not going to because I want that bonus objective, so. The big thing here too, you've got a Hydra. It's going to do more and more damage. I got Chthonic Rites so they don't kill my Hydra. It will heal over time. It's not that big of a deal, but it does make a tiny bit of a difference, and you don't need gold for a whole lot here. The only other thing that I might have gotten some gold for was the wood saws, or hand saws, I guess, to harvest wood faster, but we got wood plenty fast. You saw that, so we're not really in a big rush here. It's not like that extra, I don't know, 20% faster, maybe. I don't know how much faster it is. I just know it's a little bit faster. It wouldn't have made that big of a difference.
We have stopped a Trojan scout.
All right. Now we're at 1,900 out of 3,000, so we'll be there any day now. You can kind of see the horse starting to take shape. As these villagers harvest more, I'll probably hit a point where I go, okay, this is enough villagers. Yeah, it is. I think once they're done with this year, I just want them to go ahead and build the Trojan Horse. I'll get one more villager, it'll be enough. We're in the home stretch. Now the next part is going to take a little bit of care. I play tested it a couple of times, reloaded a couple of saves myself just to kind of see the best way to do it. It is going to require a little bit of finesse because you can't train any troops for the second half, so what you have is what you have. I forgot that the Hydra's in the cutscene. So we'll move the Trojan Horse into position, and then for the first part we're going to have just Ajax, Arkantos, and Odysseus. I don't know who the voice actor is for Odysseus here, but honestly, if he looks even anything remotely like what the physical portrait is, they should have cast him instead of Matt Damon. Matt Damon's not the worst casting for the Odyssey movie. There was a lot worse casting in that movie, but I don't know, something about him just doesn't. I don't particularly care for him as Odysseus. Actually, hot take, I think Tom Holland looks like a really good Telemachus, but I'm not so sold on Matt Damon. So, he's not the worst casting though. There's way worse casting in that movie. I don't know why it gives us a Bloody Vault. We're not going to use it for anything. We don't have anything we can train, so we're just going to go ahead and scout out. Try and avoid fights where you can. Troy has a large army, you have 3 heroes. So I'm going to wait for these guys to go, and then as soon as they turn, I'm just going to bolt past as fast as possible. Their line of sight isn't that great, so you can do this no problem. That's one hard part out of the way. And again, I just recommend saving early and often. We're going to sneak past the Colossus. If we kill this Cyclops... Oh, Odysseus is too far back. No. Okay, kill the Cyclops. So once we kill the Cyclops, we gain control of Heliopoli. We'll kill these guards real quick. We were probably going to have to kill them at some point anyways. I was just hoping to pick them off more slowly. Once they're done, we'll let our heroes heal up out of sight, and then I'll save again. This is mainly just because this level has taken me many times. I've reloaded a couple of saves. I recommend you guys doing the same. Again, you can't train any new units, so you have to be careful with your fights. But once they're full health, I'll go ahead and save again, and we'll keep pressing forward. It's not too bad once you figure out the trick, but you do have to kind of, like I said, it takes a little bit of finesse. I'll show you as the level goes on. Let's see, 30, 40, 50, okay. Let's see, I'll go ahead and save again. So this is kind of the second hard part. Once we've gotten past the initial, patrol, taking control of Heliopoli, that's another good checkpoint to say that. So I'm just gonna save here. Down below here, there's a big army. I want to avoid them. I want to see if I can get a little bit of line of sight, but I want to avoid them. See, that's massive. So once we kill these guys, there's a couple of guards. We'll kill the guards, we'll kill the barracks, and then I want to focus on tearing down the gate. And this is another good spot to save, just because if you have to reload it, it's much more convenient to reload right before you tear down the gate. So the Heliopoli are really good siege engines. They'll take down the gate in no time, and then we can take down the towers. Let's see here. So what I like to do is group up everybody in Army 1, and then all of the siege engines, including the Colossi in Army 2. The other part of this that takes finesse is this part right here. You want to fight the army in stages, and you want to keep them as close to the gate as possible, because the gate does kind of contain them and keep them back from your siege engines. You need your siege engines alive, or you're screwed. Like I said, you can't train new units, but you can always lose them. Now we have 2 meteors. 1 meteor is not enough to take down a fortress. It is enough to weaken a fortress. It's not enough to take it down. So like I said, we're going to finesse it. We're going to let these troops come to us in a choke point, and then we're going to focus our siege engines on the fortresses to our left. I'm going to use my meteors for the fortress to the right, because I don't want to draw the army out that's over there, but we do need to take down that fortress. So here comes the second meteor. And now I've killed enough of their units, I'm just going to full send for this last fortress. I think I've got enough siege alive that I can do it. As soon as you tear down this fortress, it's game over, you win. Alright, so it's really all you have to do. It's not that difficult. It's just one of those levels where I recommend saving because, again, you can't train troops. If you lose troops, you're kind of screwed, so it's nice to have checkpoints to give yourself. So that's that level. We're going to move on from here to Ioklos. Ioklos is kind of a weird one. You'll see once we get there. You do have the ability to train troops, but we don't really have resource production, so the amount of troops we get is limited until near the end of the level. Again, not exactly a hard level though. This one's, honestly, it was easier than the last one, and building the Trojan Horse and destroying Troy was not that hard. After that, our next mission will be a little bit more difficult, but for today, super easy levels. It just might take you a couple of times reloading some saves until you get the finessing just right. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. This also is where the game starts to get interesting. And I have to say this now. I played the original campaign. I love the original campaign. And Gargarensis, I feel like his voice actor just is not as good in this one. Most of the voice actors are on par, if not better. I think Odysseus is better in this one. I think Agamemnon is 6 one way, half a dozen the other. Gargarensis is one example of voice acting that's just worse. And it's no fault to the voice actor here, it's just I feel like the original one had a bit of more, he had kind of a power to his acting, and I really enjoyed it. He just kind of had a more commanding presence, I thought. So, this is going to be our main antagonist, so we're getting introduced to him for the first time, and we don't encounter him in the next level, but he will be a recurring character. And he's not particularly hard, but his armies are quite extensive, so it's going to be a pain in the butt tracking him down.
This does not look good. What happened?
Yeah, the Arkantos voice actor, originally, when they first released this game, he wasn't that good. There was a lot of complaints from the community where like, hey, you know, the original voice acting is better. Why don't you just take the audio clips from the original game and just slap it on here? Because they tried to make him sound Greek, and I understand why they wanted to do that. They wanted to make every character sound kind of like the region they're from, but it just didn't fit the heart of the game. So they redid it, and the new voice lines are spot on. So I really like what they did here. I don't know if they just took the original and polished it up, or if they actually voiced over it, but it was a good choice. They've had a couple of controversies with this game, but they've been very, very good about responding to the community, unlike just about every other Ubisoft game. Okay, so like I said, we're going to use Ajax and Arkantos to do most of the dirty work here, because we can't train, I mean, we can train new units, but not very many of them. I think there's a relic down here that's worth grabbing. No relic. Maybe it's up to the north, because I know there's a couple of relics that we can grab. I don't bother with them in skirmishes too much, but you know, if you can get a relic, you might as well. It doesn't hurt. It's a slight favor trickle, and some of them are actually pretty useful. So, okay, nothing up here. Let's just go ahead and move on. This is going to be our second encounter with Egyptian units. So this is a Wadjet. It is a venom-spitting snake. They're very easy to kill, but you get them in a horde, they do a lot of poison damage, so maybe there's use for them. I don't particularly care for them. I think most of Egypt's myth units are kind of lacking. Some of them are really strong. The Avenger is really strong. I do like the War Turtle, but I could take or leave most of them. Okay, here's the relic. Off to the side up here. Let's see, it is Demeter. Okay, it was that Cyclodemeter or whatever it was. So we're gonna get food trickle and I don't know, we might get a wood trickle as well. I didn't read it very closely, but either way, that's gonna be huge here. It's gonna allow us to slowly train more units as we need. So you can tear down that gate, or you can just go around behind. Whatever you do, let's act quickly, because the more they attack, the more they destroy, the less we have to work with. But I'm going to take Ajax and Arkantos. I'm going to kill that. Oh, let's go kill these spearmen. I want to save that militia unit. But I'm going to use our heroes to take out the myth units, and they're not terrible against infantry. It's just they are kind of weak to infantry compared to myth units. So still, we'll let them do most of the dirty work. I would prefer to let them take the damage from these towers. So as soon as we're done killing this unit, I'll have them attack a tower. Hopefully, the boiling oil will affect them, and the centaurs can remain relatively unscathed. Once the tower's down, we kill the Wadjet. I don't think our barracks is in a huge amount of danger. It's still got a good amount of life on it. We don't necessarily need both of them either. You know, we're not going to have enough resources to train a ton of units, so it's not going to take long to train new stuff. Now that we've destroyed the bandits, we gain control of everybody around here. Gaining this relic also gives us favor, so that's helpful. I do not want to deal with the Scorpion Men, just because they do a lot of poison damage. Let's see, let's get our heroes over there. Come on. I don't necessarily need to tear down this gate yet either. Let's get some units going, and let's get our heroes to drop off their relics as well. I'll group everybody up in armies and I'll drop off the relics. Let's see here. There you are. And let's get a Hydra as well. I didn't used to use Hydras as much as I do. They were nice because they only require food and favor, so that's always a plus. But I didn't used to rely on them too much. I don't know, they've been seriously buffed or something. They're strong against units and really strong against infantry now. It didn't used to worry me seeing a Hydra. Now it kind of worries me to see a Hydra. Let's see here. I think there's something back this way. Let's go take a look. It might be nothing. But I thought there was... Okay, it's nothing. I thought there was maybe a relic. Take some time, destroy some stuff. I am not in a huge hurry. Plus, I don't know, might want to go through here at some point. Take the Centaur as well. And, oh, I forgot to drop off the relics. Let's do that. We'll take the Centaur. Yeah, food and favor trickle, so that'll be good. At the very least, it might help us get another Hydra. It's slow enough, we probably won't get one from it, but You never know.
Honey.
Alright, so we tear down this gate, and like I said, the more of these units that we kill, the more we have to work with. Or I guess I should say the faster we kill them, the more we have to work with. They're going to start killing our units, they'll tear down buildings, and the faster you act, the more you can save, so pretty straightforward stuff. You don't have to rush it too much. If you're still building your army, it's not a big deal. But once you're in the fighting, you want to end the fighting relatively quick. I don't want to use bronze. I'll say that at the end. I probably won't use ceasefire. It's not that useful. Ceasefire is very situational. It can be very nice to kind of buy yourself a few seconds to get an army or something, or to wait for your units to come back. But also, it's a double-edged sword because it gives your enemy time to position themselves inside your base. So, I'm probably not going to use it here. We'll just kill all of these wadgets. And as soon as you destroy it, I think you only have to destroy the barracks and that one tower to gain control of the area. But we're going to destroy everything. I don't want the other tower shooting at us, and also I don't want to look at it, so. Alright. See, now we've taken control, even though there's still people out and about attacking. So, let's go ahead and finish them off. You do get a spike in resources for every region we recapture, so that will kind of give you the units you need to push on to the next zone. Let's go ahead and take our militia. Militia aren't the strongest units. Oh, I guess that's an attack from that gate over there. Militia aren't the strongest units, but they are free when you lose buildings, so it's nice to have them. They're just kind of another layer of defense that your enemy has to get through. Okay, so given the food that we got and the slow food trickle, I think we will get one extra Hydra. I just have to wait till our food hits 250. And then I want to also get a couple more centaurs maybe, or maybe a couple archers. I could probably get more archers than centaurs. Just auto-queue it. It'll train it once I finally got the food. And we'll get the archers because we can get 13 of them, and that's a good amount of firepower. Come on, any day now. 47, 48, 49, 50. Alright. So we should get another Hydra here soon. Let's go ahead and kill this Scorpion Man. It's not a huge deal if they take down that archery range. We have 2 more, and probably not going to train a ton of archers after this. But we should deal with those slingers at some point. Just because I don't like people nipping at my heels. I don't want to get too far yet, because there is a good amount of fighting in this section, and the farther we get, the more we're going to have to actually do some fighting. But I do want to deal with these guys real quick. Okay. Good enough. We'll train some more archers as we go. I'm going to split my troops. I'm going to have the archers move one way, and I'm going to have my Hydras and Heroes move another. I'm not too worried about having to destroy buildings here. There's a couple that are not that hard, and I have a siege engine. Let's go ahead and kill this guy. Save the militiaman. Yes. Oh, finished off killing those guys as well. You can see, I mean, we're not getting a ton of pressure. It's not like they're hitting us early and often with a ton of waves, like in most levels. You have the resources to train the army. You have the tough units. You know, it's not that hard. It's a pretty laid-back level. The next one after this will be difficult, but this one, you don't really have to worry about it at all. It's just a matter of taking time to build the army and then moving quickly once you have it. Let's kill that guy. And let's take down that tower and that temple. There's a couple more secrets around here that we are going to take advantage of. So let's destroy these. Let's gain control of the region. And I should kill those guys so they don't attack a temple or something. So it says you're going to need a strong army to seize the Acropolis. You don't. It's fine. Let's go ahead and kill these guys, see if we can drag out that siege engine. I don't like being hit with catapult constantly. I mean, you do need a strong army, but it's not like you need a ton of siege. This is going to go pretty quick. especially because the lion's share of their army is actually not even defending their camp. I mean, it is, but it's way off to the side from the objective. There's a route that I think they expect you to take, and I just don't take that route. I go the very direct route, like a normal person. So let's go down here. There are spare resources we can gain control of. There's also another relic. And then one other secret, which we'll take a look at, there's a plenty vault here. So this is where it gets a little bit easier. You don't have villagers to gather resources, but there's a plenty vault off to the right over in this direction. So we should be able to slowly get a food and gold trickle. Hello, Ajax. No, keep looking down here. Food, gold, and wood. So you can build your army now. It's somewhat slow, but you know, we've got a pretty sizable army now anyways, and we've got a good amount of resources, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Let's grab this other relic. That'll give us another trickle, I believe. I don't remember. What was that? Oh, it's a gold trickle. Perfect. So we get food and gold. That's going to be enough. Sorry, excuse me. I have to take care of my dog for a second. Alright, I'm back. Alright. So let's get that plenty vault. I don't remember, is there a relic over here? No. Okay. So we've got a slow trickle of food and gold. And then we've got the plenty vault making us resources. So we're gonna have plenty of stuff to work with. I recommend getting Hydras where you can, just because they're pretty tanky units and they do a lot of damage. And then I'll probably do a lot of archers. We don't need a ton in the way of siege. The Hydras will do that for us, and the Heliopoli will also take care of that. Oh, I forgot that. I have these Hydras. Let's take those. I guess I've got that on auto queue. We'll do that. That's fine. Let's see here. So you just want to train a relatively large army, and you want to take them over here to this fortress. As soon as you destroy the fortress, you win the game. Alright, now there's another way you can go up that will take you past their main camp, their town center, their army, and we're just going to bypass that. We don't need to mess with that. Let's see here, are they upgrades? Because I think we're only working with heavy units. It's not going to make a difference, we're going to be fine, but I always like getting upgrades when I can. Let's see here. Got a lot more wood than normal. And almost enough for another Hydra. See, it's pinging it like we've forgotten. It thinks that that I've forgotten what I actually need to do here. Silly computer. No, we're just gonna get a large army. Honestly, this would probably be enough as is, but go ahead, play it safe, max out your command points. I've only got room for another 90 or so anyways. And I keep auto-queuing these Hydras, that's helpful. Let's see here. Like I said, get as many as you can. At a certain point, we're going to basically run out of favor, so we'll just start filling our army with other stuff at that point. Probably archers. We've got a lot of excess food and gold, or sorry, wood and gold, so it should be fine. So I'll show you what I mean while we're waiting for things to train. There's a second route up the mountain. Ignore the Scorpion Man, and that gate will lead you into the heart of their camp. We're not going to bother with that. Again, just take the direct route. You'll have to carve your way through some walls. It's not hard. And then you just cast bronze on yourself and focus the entirety of your army on the fortress. You'll win in no time. It's pretty easy. I do not want slingers or peltists. Peltists are good anti-archers, but they're not hitting me with a ton of archers. I just want solid ranged units, so auto-queue those. Go ahead and get some pikemen as well. We might as well with the excess food. It's not like we've got the favor for a Hydra, so. This, I will say, this is probably the last easy level for a while. I'm trying to think don't think there's a lot of easy levels in Egypt. Maybe Isis here might be, but I don't think I've done that on Ludicrous, so I don't know how hard that actually is yet. Most of the levels in Egypt are going to be very... well, I won't say they'll be insanely difficult. There might be a couple like that, but they're going to be your average difficulty. They're gonna hit you with units, with enemy units early and often. So, this one's gonna be the last. No, I take that back. There is one more easy level, the underworld between here and Greece, here in Egypt. That's gonna be relatively easy, but after this, I will say it does ramp up a bit. I'm trying to think. I don't think Norway has a ton of easy levels either. This is probably where they take the training wheels off altogether and just say good luck. Let's see. I'll go ahead with the excess gold. We'll just buy some more food and get some more pikemen. The reason I'm doing pikemen instead of Hippaspis is because the hoplites do excess crush damage, and so if they do manage to get up to a building, they're gonna destroy it faster. I go ahead and save again. Abundance of caution. I don't expect to need to reload that one. This will be quick. So like I said, we're just gonna go straight on through. You could probably ignore the arrow towers, but I'm gonna have our archers deal with them. They will cast serpents. You don't have to worry about it. Serpents are usually pretty easy to deal with. They're mainly meant to kind of buy you time or to deal with like villagers or something like that. So let's cast our bronze, and you just need to tear through one of these walls and push the fortress. That's simple. Your units are going to be able to tank all of their attacks because of bronze, and just like that, we win. So. This is also, like I said, this is another turning point campaign as well. We've just freed Kylon, so he's going to be another one of our main heroes. And now that we have him, we're going to track down the source of these bandits, and we're going to meet Gargarensis for the first time. I do have most of that level completed as well, so we should be able to see that next week without too much difficulty. I don't expect to have to do another offbeat to buy myself some time. So next week, we'll pick this up where we left off. In the meantime, go ahead, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys on Sunday.